Hello once again, welcome to this tutorial. Now we are going to discuss some basic concepts we need to understand in CSS before we proceed in other concepts. Now there's something we call the cascade. The cascade in CSS refers to the algorithm. The cascade in CSS refers to the algorithm browsers use to determine which style declaration wins when multiple rules apply to an element. It considers several factors in a specific order. First, we talk of the importance. Importance rule marked with exclamation mark important take prudence over all other rules, regardless of the specificity. The second is the origin. Style sheets come from different origins. For example, the browser default style, the user style, and the author style. The author style generally overrides the browser default, and the user style can sometimes override the author style if marked important. Then the specificity, this is calculated value based on the type and number of selectors used in a rule. Rules with higher specificity win. The order of appearance, if all other factors are equal, same importance, origin, and specificity, the rule that apply later in the style sheet or in the document takes over the prudence. Now specificity, what's the definition of it? What is this specificity? It's an algorithm that determines which style declaration is ultimately applied to an element if two or more CSS rules point to the same element. For example, we have the inline style. Inline style appear directly to the HTML element style attribute have higher specificity. Sorry, cut. For example, inline style styles appear directly to the HTML element style attribute have the highest specificity. That is when you are styling an element inline. Then the next one is the ID selectors. ID selector targeting an element by its ID attribute. For example, hash my ID, it has a higher specificity. Then class selector. Class selector attributes selector and pseudo selectors. Sorry, cut. For example, class selector, attribute selector, and pseudo class. Selectors targeting elements by their class attribute, other attribute. Example, type, text, or pseudo class. Example, hover, have a moderate level of what specificity. Then element selectors and pseudo elements. Then selector targeting element by the tag name, example p or div, or pseudo element, example before, have the lowest specificity. And then the universal selector. This selector has no specificity. So what this is saying is just telling us like a kind of how the CSS rules is being implemented. For example, if I should go to my VS Code, I have something like this, a p tag, right, that appears twice. Now I can come here and I see my style, right? I can see my style. Now, for example, if I should open this on my browser, right, I see these two, hello and happy to see you, right? So if I should go to my styling and maybe use the tag name p, let's say color blue. Automatically what I have, okay, sorry, I have to link it. I've not linked this CSS file. So I have the color blue, right? Now if in the same vein, I should have the color, let's say brown. You see, it becomes brown. But if I want this color to still maintain blue, that's where I add that specificity, importance. Automatically it will turn blue. So that's what the rule is all about. So knowing the one that have the higher effect than the others when multiple CSS rule is applied to a particular HTML element. And with this, you have come to the end of this tutorial. See you in the next video.